Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Thursday, March 18th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the throat chakra and guided by endlessness. And the galactic signature for today is the white electric wizard energy. And so some of you may be familiar with the white wizard energy. We talk about it quite a bit. It comes up fairly often. And so this is the energy of enchanting, timelessness, and receptivity. And this is going hand in hand with the electric tone, which is the third tone of the 13 tones of creation. And this works with activation, bonding, and service. And so it's this idea and this understanding of what happens when the two energies become the third energy, right? When that third energy is born, it activates. And all of the possibilities then arise. There are endless possibilities of what can be created when these three energies intermingle and interplay together. And when we become activated, this mission of service is then activated. Service is the highest aspiration of the heart, right? That is a huge, huge part of why we are here and who and what we are. Because we understand, right? We came into that understanding with that first tone, that unifying tone, that we are all part of this collective dream, this collective consciousness. And so as we step deeper into that, our desire to be of service to that consciousness comes online more and more. And so we're working a lot with that energy today, the energy of possibility, the energy of activation, the energy of service. And with this white wizard energy, this is a day to be enchanted and to be enchanting, to allow ourselves to be enchanted, to step into the magic of life and be receptive to that magic and all the ways that that magic reveals itself to us. This is an energy of timelessness. So this is an energy of stepping outside of linear time. And I really love this because we were joking about this on my video that I posted yesterday, which I posted the wrong date for again. I tend to do this fairly often. And so just this whole idea that we really are transcending linear time on here, right? Everything is timeless. All of these videos, I date them a certain day, but they're really timeless, and you find them when they're meant to be found. Yes, like I do read into the particular energies of the day, but that doesn't mean all of this, right? It exists, like we said, in this now moment. So whatever now moment you find this video is the now moment that's perfect for you. And we can tap into any of these energies at any time because time is so fluid. And so we're really being invited to play with time today, to get in tune with our own sense of timing, our own divine timing. And when we do that, even being present in the third dimensional matrix, everything still flows, right? We still move outside of the time laws that govern everybody else into our own unique sense of timing, and everything flows. It's like there's this visual of all of this white light flowing down a corridor, and every door that's meant to open opening exactly as it's meant to, so that we can continue moving through. And it's just like this beautiful stream of consciousness that's just effortlessly navigating because it is fully aware and fully present, right? So that's the energy that we're moving toward, and that's the energy that we can step into today by being as present as possible as we can in this present moment, and being as receptive as possible, being receptive to the divine inspiration, to the communications coming through, to the energies coming through, right? To the ways that we are being invited to be of service today, to enchant, to step into the magic, to be the magic, right? And with this energy of also the wizard, right? We're talking about spells, we're talking about enchantments, and we're talking about the fact that everything that we speak is a spell. My friend Tommy actually shared a meme the other day that I absolutely stole because it was perfect, and it said, words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. And I thought that was really clever. And so that's sort of like the energy that we're working with today. And we're working with these energies every day, right? Everything is timeless. So all of this we're working with every single day, which is why I said you find these readings exactly when they're relevant for you. But on these days, this is a fun way where we can sort of zero in on what we want to focus on, what we want to play with more. And so we're being invited to play more today with the enchantments that we are creating, the spells that we are casting through our words and our thoughts. And of course, those being followed up by our actions, right? But just really playing with that today. How can we speak in a way? How can we think of a way that's also of service to the greater whole, to the collective as well? How can we utilize that energy to really tap into all of this receptivity, all of this service energy? And so the affirmation for today is I activate in order to enchant bonding receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of endlessness. And actually, there was something else I wanted to read for you guys before I X out of this. And it says, for the guidance for today, focus on becoming the transparent wizard who allows magic to be effortlessly created through you. Use your heart knowing to receive divine attunement. Be receptive to radial, nonlinear, now-centered time. All right. And I just want to say how much I love and appreciate you guys. Like, I'm learning this galactic calendar as we go along here and sharing it with you. So really, we're all learning this together, and it's super fun. And I just love and appreciate each and every single one of you that tunes into these readings every day and participates in this process and all this growth and expansion that we are doing together. It's really, really beautiful. I appreciate you so much. All right, so we still have the moon in Taurus today, in those final degrees of Taurus. And the moon is making some interesting aspects today. The moon is in a sextile to Venus. And also this would be, as Venus and the sun are pretty conjunct, that would make it, in my opinion, also in a sextile to the sun. So to the combined energy of Venus and the sun. And we talked yesterday about how Venus and the sun are going to be traveling together into the sign of Aries. And they're going to be together moving toward the middle of April, right? They're going to start to break apart more as April goes on. But absolutely very strongly in that first week as they move into Aries together. And they're together right now in the sign of Pisces. And the way I'm feeling this is that this sun and Venus and Pisces energy is very much that energy of becoming receptive to our souls, really centering in and connecting into our souls, what it is that they're teaching us, what it is that they want to show us, how we can meld more, right? Because that Neptunian energy is very much about dissolving and melding. How can we dissolve more into our soul? How can we become receptive, right, to the messages and the information and the yearnings of our soul? How can we really unify with that more divine aspect of ourselves and integrate that energy? It's very much, I'm feeling an energy of integration that we have going on right now. And it's also seeing and understanding our place within the larger scope, right? With that collective Neptunian energy. And then as we move into Aries, it's going to be all the energies that we've integrated, this knowing, this deeper knowing of our soul selves, right? And our higher purpose, we're going to be putting into action, and we're going to be really individualizing that energy and learning how to showcase that energy in the world. Right? So it's really the energies that we have going on, the way this is happening. It's very beautiful. We're learning a lot right now about ourselves in relation to others with this Pisces energy. And then it's going to be the self in relation to the self, which is going to be an interesting transition, I think. We also have the moon sextiling Neptune, trining Pluto, and very conjunct true black moon. The moon was moving into conjunction with true black moon yesterday. I think it was the moon. You'd have to check back at the video. There was something going on with true black moon. But now the moon is exactly conjunct true black moon today. So yeah, a lot of that EMPOWERING energy coming through today. A lot of that, we still have many of those different figures that we've been talking about. We have a bisextile with the moon, Venus, and Pluto, with Mars, Chiron, and Saturn. And because we have the moon, Venus, and Pluto, it's really the sun and Pluto too that I'm feeling with that Venus sun energy together right now. And so it's a lot of harmonizing different aspects of ourselves, right? There's a lot of that integration and harmonization going on. Like we said, that understanding the ways that we can put things into ACTION as we move forward, the ways that we can utilize the lessons that we've learned around our EMPOWERMENT, right? And then with this mystic triangle between Mars, Saturn, and the South Node, it's really about us just continuing to shed everything that isn't ours. Everything that we've discovered no longer resonates as far as who and what we are at our core, right? And the different ways that we showcase that in the world. So really just continuing this process of releasing, right? Moving up into this full moon. What no longer serves me? What does not resonate with who I am? What am I ready to shed? It's that kind of energy. And what am I ready to step into? So it's a dualistic energy here. What am I wanting to release? What am I wanting to step into? And how do I step into that? We're making that plan now. We're seeing how to connect those dots, because I get this really strong feeling that once we move into Aries season, it's going to be an energy of like hitting the ground running. And so just really paying attention to what's come through, what downloads, what information, what knowledge, what insights are coming through. How can we put those into practice, right, in our lives as we move forward? How can we prepare ourselves for this really invigorating energy that I'm feeling building as we move into Aries season and really get into the depth of springtime, right? We have the spring, the equinox happening on the 20th. But like I'm feeling April as really being that kicking off point for those energies. And so how are we preparing for that? All right. Let us get into, I'm wanting to pull a Star Temple Oracle. This one always wants to come out and play lately. I really enjoy that deck. Clear. It was an impulse buy, and I'm very glad that I did. All right, first card out, and we have been seeing this one. I was wondering if we were going to get a lot of the same ones. The Lost Star Rebirth, out of the darkness into the light. Right, so that's that energy that we were talking about as we begin to move into springtime, into impending Aries season, right? That's really a lot of us. It's like coming out of the cocoon, emerging into the world. And then we have the Temple, home. I no longer search outside of myself for home. And that home energy coming through very strongly lately as well. And I'm feeling this a lot for starseeds too. This energy of home, where it's like a lot of us come into this world feeling very out of place because we're not of this world, right? We're in this world, but not of it. And so there's that constant search and yearning for home, because we never really felt like we fully connected to any place as our home, right? Of course we wouldn't. Our home is out there somewhere, but really our home is in here. And it's when we come to understand that and connect with the home within ourselves that we feel that sense of connectedness, and we're able to then connect wherever we are, and we're no longer searching. And so it's that energy of no longer searching for ourselves, because we've come to know ourselves. We've come home to ourselves, which is really, that feels so profound right now and so beautiful. And then we have the Medicine Woman, heal. I nurture and nourish my mind, body, and soul. Right? That's the triangle energy, the mind, the body, and the spirit. Are we nurturing? Are all of these aspects in balance? Are we nurturing these all equally? Right? How do we nurture our mind? The first thing that's coming to me is meditation. Meditation is a great way to nurture our minds. Learning new things is a great way to nurture our minds, right? Having those open, receptive conversations where we exchange ideas with other people is a way to nurture our minds. How are we planting those seeds within our minds? But it's like when we have all that stimulation from the learning, from the growing, from the conversations and the exchange of concepts and ideas and philosophies, right? We also have to recharge our minds. And so that's where the meditation comes in. That's where the rest comes in. How do we nourish our bodies? We pay attention to what we're putting into them, right? We fuel them with what they need. We listen to what they're telling us and what it is that they need. Well, once again, we get that rest. We stay hydrated. We love our bodies. We send that loving energy and that acceptance to our bodies. Our bodies can feel and know when we are not feeling harmony with them, when we are judging them. That energy goes into all of the cells of our body, and our bodies react to that. So being loving and compassionate and tolerant to our bodies, appreciating our bodies, that energy is coming through. And it's reminding me of something that I was doing for a while that I stopped, that I really should start again. And it was this energy where in the mornings I would go through and I would place my hands on all the different parts of my body and I would just say thank you. and I would send that love just for a minute into all of the cells, to all of the organs of my body, because the body really is a miraculous thing. If one were to truly understand and study, like say for instance, and this is where science, like people who are super science and they don't get into spiritual science at all, this is where it really baffles me, right? Because when I learned about anatomy, when I learned about biology and physiology, I was so awestruck by all of the things that the body does that I could not imagine that anybody could read all of that information, see the billions of things that our bodies do every second, just in the background to keep us alive, to keep us breathing, to keep us functioning, our blood pumping, all of this, right? And not acknowledge that there is magic that exists out there. Like something magical had to create that. It is too perfect. It is too efficient. And when we nourish and care for our bodies properly and our minds, because remember, all three of these are connected, the mind, body, and the soul, when one is out of balance, it throws all out of balance, right? But when we nourish that appropriately, it works like a well-oiled machine. And honestly, calling it a machine, I think, takes away from it, because machines are very, they're not, it takes away from that spiritual aspect of it. They're magical, and they run that way. Right? And so really, that's nourishing the body. Those are ways that we nourish the body. And how do we nourish the soul? We nourish the soul by listening to the soul, by following the urgings of the soul, by doing the things that light us up, that make us feel good, right? By listening to and honoring our intuition. And so just paying attention to all of the ways that we can nurture and nourish our body, mind, and soul today, noticing where any of those things are out of balance, and just giving our body, our soul, our mind that little bit of extra love that it needs today. And I share this all the time, right? It's something that was shared with me by my a mentor and my friend Glenn Jones, who he and his partner have a channel they just started called Glenn and Heidi's Healing Heart. Definitely check it out. They're going to have some really beautiful stuff coming there in the future. I absolutely know it. But he always talks about if you don't take care of your body, where does your soul have to live? So really paying attention to that aspect, right? And yeah, I don't know, that just popped into my head, so I wanted to share it again. It may resonate for somebody. Somebody, when I've shared it before, may not have heard it and is going to hear it now. And then we have gateways of light coming through, infinite. I have unlimited access to the divine mind. And so this is the other thing, right? It's like when we nourish our mind, our body, and our soul, when they're all in balance, that's when we're also better channels for energy, for information. We become that clear channel. And so it's really, really important. And this is something that I've been working on, something that I struggle with. I struggle on the physical level, right? I'm good at nourishing the mind, not as good at unplugging it, but I'm getting better, right? We're always getting better. I'm really good at nourishing the soul, but the body has always been a challenge. And so there's always an area that is a little bit more challenging for us, where we have to put in a little bit more focus. And that's probably why I incarnated as a Taurus sun in this lifetime, because the physicality, the senses, the body is very important. We're very physical beings. And my body is a great barometer for me, because when something is out of alignment in my soul or my mind, I feel it instantly in my body, right? But sometimes there's so much stuff, it's hard to pinpoint. All right, so what is going on right now? So it's an endless endeavor, and you know which area, if not, for some it's multiple, where it is the most challenging. And so it's like just bringing all of those and using each of those and the input they're giving you to learn how to bring the other aspects into balance, if that makes sense. But yeah, that when we are in balance in that way, that gives us this unlimited access to the divine mind. It allows us to connect to the divine mind. And this is bringing in the thoughts of the soul star chakra right now as well, and those higher chakras in the outer 12 chakra system. So the way that I'm understanding it now is we have an inner 12 chakra system and we have an outer 12 chakra system, meaning we have the 7 core, but then we have a system that goes above and below the physical body that makes up 12 chakras. We also have extra chakras inside the body that make up a 12 chakra system. So it's really like 2 12s, which is fascinating. And we have way more chakras than that, you guys. That's just like the basics, right? And I can't wait to see, as we expand more, how we learn even more, right? Because guaranteed there's way more than that. But yeah, And so I'm thinking about the activation and the working with those higher chakras. And like, we go through a lot of really complicated stuff, right? Like humans, we like to complicate things. But honestly, you can activate anything just by putting your intention and your focus on it. And so if somebody's sitting there right now and they're thinking, well, how do I work with my soul star? How do I work with those higher chakras? Think about them. Put your attention, your intention and your attention on them. Send them light. Just seek to connect with them. Set the intention for them to open, for them to begin to clear. That's all you have to do. It's just like another thing. There are lots of things we can do to activate the pineal gland. But the number one thing we can do is just focus on it. Think about it. Set that intention. Your intention is your most powerful tool. Right? I'm giving out all sorts of Glennisms today. If you and Heidi are watching, like, I love you so much. I really did learn a lot from him. But yeah, your intention is your most powerful tool. So set the intention. That's it. That's all you have to do. You can do way more stuff than that, and it's fun to do more stuff than that. But that's really all you have to do. If you want to connect to the divine mind, set the intention to connect. Get quiet. Get centered. Set that intention. That's it. And then we have the mirror reflect. I hold the mirror up to see, accept, and love all of me. So that self-love piece coming through, that loving whatever is being reflected to us. When something is especially when something is reflected to us that makes us uncomfortable, that doesn't promote a self-image that we want, right? That's how things become buried in the shadow, is when something is reflected to us, we don't like it, and so we refuse to we have refused to love it, we refuse to accept it. It's still a part of us. It's just now a part of us that feels some type of way, right? And so it's allowing those things to come up, and when they do, seeing and loving every single piece and part of you as it comes up. Love it, accept it, just send it that unconditional love. Ask for assistance if you don't feel strong enough to do that, and please reach out to me for assistance with any of this stuff if you would like to. I would love to be of assistance. There's lots of things that I can do that can absolutely help to facilitate all of these processes that we're talking about here. And then we have the shining star glow. I no longer dim my light, I shine bright for all to see. And this one comes out all the time too, and we notice it has the mirror too, right? And so when we disassociate from aspects of ourselves, when we disown parts of ourselves, we are dimming our light, right? Because all of those aspects of who we are make up our light, right? Our darkness is part of our light. It's all one and the same, really. It's different aspects, right? With the mirror, you see the two different sides. And so any aspect of ourselves that we are not loving, that we are not looking at, that we are not finding a way to love and accept, when we do that, we are dimming our shine, right? So dimming our shine, it doesn't mean just hiding part of who we are from others. It's hiding part of who we are from ourselves. And that is coming through really strongly right now, the importance of that. We cannot shine in the fullness of who we are if we cannot love, accept, and see the fullness of who we are. And that every single aspect of who you are is beautiful, is perfect, right? And we are all perfectly imperfect. And so love and honor every single aspect of yourself today. Mind, body, soul, right? Each and every little piece and part makes you the glorious being that you are, right? And there's something to learn. There's a gift in everything, in every aspect of ourselves, right? We are not mistakes. Nothing that happens is a mistake. We are not mistakes. We talked about the body and how it works together so synchronistically, right? That's not a mistake. The universe makes no mistakes. Source makes no mistakes, right? And so source coming through, right? Telling you, reminding you of that. I make no mistakes. So basically don't question me, right? You are here for a reason. You are who you are for a reason. You experienced everything you experienced for a reason. You have the dreams and desires within you that you have for a reason. You shine the unique way that you shine for a reason. So just trust that, know that, and move with that and embrace that, all right? Because Source loves and embraces you. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And then on the bottom of the deck, the Winged Messenger, creation, spiritual direction inspires my creative flow. So really get in touch with that inspiration today. It is pouring in from all angles. I could keep going. You guys know this. I'm going to stop. But I love you guys so very much. If you liked this video, hit that like button. It definitely helps. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. My email is down below with the description of the different services that I offer. If you want to connect more deeply with your divinity, if you want to balance your mind, your body, and your spirit, if you want to learn how to fall in love with yourself, with all of yourself, right? So that you can embrace all of what and who you are, reach out to me. We can absolutely do some work to help to bring you to that point, to help to reintroduce you to you. All right. And yes, there's probably more housekeeping notes, but we're good. You guys know. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. I'm not even going to say the date because I could be wrong. I'm going to look it up on my phone, right? Whatever. We're transcending linear time. It really doesn't matter. Happy today. Happy now moment to each and every one of you. Bye.